The night I watch two gods battle to the death, we see the greatest painting ever made, and I push a man to his death. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. In tonight's video, we will be getting the Platinum Trophy for Oblivion Remastered. There are a total of 50 trophies required for the Platinum, but for tonight's video, we will be getting the trophies for the Shivering Isles DLC as well, bringing the trophy count up to a whopping 61. Honestly, this is one of the most straightforward Platinums ever. You simply just play and finish every single one of the main quest lines and the factions quest lines in the game. No stupid challenge trophies, no complex and strange miscellaneous trophies, and no fucking collectibles. So without making this video even longer than it already is, let's get started. So our journey begins with a speech from the Emperor of Tamriel, Uriel Septim VII.
For 65 years I've ruled as Tamriel's emperor. But for all these years, I've never been the ruler of my own dreams. I have seen the gates of oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land. This is the 27th of last seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the third era and the final hours of my life.
Honestly, when I heard that music again on this intro, I couldn't stop smiling. As we begin, we have to make one of the most important choices of the game so far. What race to play? I'd rather die than play as a high elf. I only play as Dark Elves when I play Morrowind. Nope, I don't want to play as farming equipment.
There's only one tool you need for gardening, and I've got it.
It's a hammer. It'll be a hammer.
It's not a hammer! This.
Definitely don't want to play as a furry. I've been a Nord for the last 14 years. I think I'll change it up a little bit.
Look how easy it is to be racist.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
Don't fancy being a tree hugger either. I then decide that an Imperial is the best way to go as it makes the most sense.
One eternity later.
After spending way too long changing how I look, I then pick a very appropriate name and we can begin. And in our first 30 seconds, we meet the biggest dick in this game.
Imperial criminal scum like you give the Empire a bad name, you see. You're an embarrassment. Best if you just disappear.
But we soon get interrupted by the Emperor's bodyguards, the Blades, as they are bringing him through our cell.
You are the one from my dreams.
Who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
After that, he tells us that his 3 sons have been assassinated and his Blades are escorting him out of a secret escape route to safety. Obviously, we decide to follow them, but we are soon attacked by these assassins, and I don't need a weapon to defend the Emperor, lads. Imagine planning to kill the Emperor, but you're stopped by an angry Imperial throwing haymakers.
Getting better here in this round, though. Oh, man, until then.
Soon, however, I am told not to follow, but luckily enough for us, the wall crumbles and shows another way out of here, and we make our way through these tunnels, killing everything we come across. These tunnels are crawling with goblins, zombies and rats, so I start to pick them off one at a time. Here we are able to regroup with the Blades and the Emperor. It's here where we make another big decision, what star sign to choose. And I'll be honest lads, I always play as a heavy armoured warrior, but I really did feel like changing it up for once. So I decided to go with the sign of the thief for now. The Emperor then tells us what will happen soon.
I go to my grave. A tongue shriller than all the music calls me. You shall follow me yet for a while. Then we must part.
Yet again, our escape route is locked, likely meaning an ambush was set here for us, so we stay behind to guard the Emperor.
You alone must stand against the Prince of Destruction and his mortal servants. He must not have the Amulet of Kings. Take the amulet, give it to Joffrey. He alone knows where to find my last son.
So it's our job to defend the Amulet of Kings, and I will.
2 seconds later.
Me and Boris together make short work of the assassin. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that Boris is slightly fucking annoyed that we let the Emperor die. After this, he tells us that Joffrey is the Grand Master of the Blades, So if we bring him the Amulet of Kings, it will be safe with him. It's here where we finally pick our class, and I can't lie boys, I fell to the dark side with this one, as I decided to play as a stealth archer.
Coward. We have a new world to conquer. You make me sick.
Leave me alone, please.
Hiding in the shadows. Hiding from who you truly are.
So we make our way out of the sewers, but it was here at the exit where I decided to change my mind last second. I've always played as a heavily armoured Chad, and I always will. Here we get our first trophy of the video for escaping the Imperial sewers. Honestly, even though I was 4 when these games originally came out and I didn't play Oblivion until I was about 13, this still feels incredibly nostalgic to me.
Emotional. Very emotional.
But with the world open to us, we must do one thing before we get started. Look everyone, I'm not proud of it, but it had to happen, okay? It's one of the best swords in the entire game, and we need it.
Ah, cheeky boy.
One eternity later.
Finally, after a million arrows, Umbra finally falls. As I'm sure you figured it out, we aren't rushing off to do the main quest just yet. I figured we should start by completing the arena quest line for 2 reasons. 1, because we really need the gold, and 2, because we need a lot more fighting experience, and this will level up our stats.
What? You want to be a combatant? Look at you! My granny could beat you, and she's dead!
Here we get a trophy for joining the arena. So we are only allowed to wear the arena armour given to us, and it's bound to look cool as fuck. Like a Roman gladiator style armour. Nope, it's a big fucking dress.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
We have our first match right now.
Good people of the Imperial City, welcome to the arena. For this match, we've got some fresh meat, 2 brand new pit dogs. So let's not waste any time. Let the battle begin!
So our duel starts and I come out swinging as I'm so used to Skyrim's combat of spam attack until they die. But we do make quick work of our first opponent. We then follow this up by making even quicker work of our next opponent. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Brawler in the arena. Now is probably a good time to say that we can't loot our opponents, which is a shame because you do fight some people with some great weapons and shields. But here our fights start to gradually get harder. We're then told that we are fighting 2 Wood Elf sisters.
They're twins, actually. You gotta take them both out. Now get in there and show those tree climbers who's boss!
So once out in the arena, I try my best to use my first opponent to shield myself from the archer, and this is a tactic I will repeat throughout the entire game, but this limits her damage and allows me to kill the first one easily. After that, I just rush the archer and beat the shit out of her. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of Bloodletter in the arena. Shortly after this, we make quick work of our former blade, and yet again we make short work of another useless opponent. This gets us a trophy for reaching the rank of Myrmidon in the arena. Next up we face a foe with an enchanted dagger called Shimmer Strike, but luckily for us we have Umbra, which quite frankly has been carrying me to these victories.
I turn good players into great players and great teams into champions.
Honestly, this little wood elf with his magic dagger has come the closest to killing me so far. Next we get a trophy for reaching the rank of warrior in the arena. Next up we are fighting a high elf magic user, and all we have to do is close the distance and start swinging. So straight away we dodge one of her spells and get in close and start hacking away, but soon she falls like all the others. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of gladiator in the arena. Next up we are told by Owen that the opposing team has tricked us into sending 3 Argonian prisoners for us to fight. As the battle starts, we're getting swarmed straight away, but I try to keep all 3 of them in front of me so we don't get flanked.
This match is mine, weakling. Victory will be mine.
Are you not entertained?
entertain!
Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of hero in the arena. Yet again, we're fighting another magic user, and I'm going to get close and beat the shit out of him. So he misses his first spell.
But I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
After this, we quickly cut him down. But here we see the price of his magic shield, and fuck's sake, why can't we steal this? 15,000 gold this early would be a game changer. As we head back, we are told we are in for another 3v1, but Owen says fuck that. He plans on sending us some backup in the name of Porkchop the Boar. And look at this bloodthirsty menace. He is fucking pumped for battle. He has glitched his way past the gate and is aura forming his way towards the enemy team. As the battle begins, me and Porkchop take the fight to our enemy. As I 2v1 the melee combatants, he distracts the archer. After quickly killing the first enemy, me and their champion duel in the middle of the arena, while Porkchop fucking Tokyo drifts in the background. Like seriously, just keep an eye on him. But we manage to quickly kill their champion, and finally we slay the archer. The Porkchop is that bloodlusted that he doesn't stop there and starts to attack me. But even though he attacks me, I can't bring myself to kill him, so we stroll out of the arena. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of champion in the arena. So we then speak with this orc called the Grey Prince, and he is the reigning Grand Champion, so we need to kill him to take his place. So he agrees to face us in the arena.
But who, you might ask, could possibly be brave enough to face such a fearless foe? Who could wrest the title from our famed Grey Prince? Behold, the Crimson Blade!
2 seconds later.
Yeah, as we rush our opponent, he lets us kill him. As if you do a side quest for him, it is revealed that his father was a vampire, so he wants to die as he thinks he is an abomination.
Behold, the Arena Grand Champion, the Crimson Blade!
Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Grand Champion in the arena. So it's quickly shown to us that our new title comes with some unexpected drawbacks, as we have ourselves an adoring fan, and yes, he very swiftly gets told to fuck off, as we need to bring the Amulet of Kings to Joffrey. Once inside Wayne and Priory, we come face to face with Joffrey, and we tell him the Emperor sent us. We then spend the next few minutes explaining to him what happened in the Imperial sewers, how the blades were ambushed, and how we watched Uriel get killed.
Seriously?
Yeah. The Prince of Destruction he referred to is none other than Mehrunes Dagon, one of the lords of the demonic world of Oblivion. The Emperor's words, "Close shut the jaws of Oblivion," certainly suggest that he perceived some threat from Oblivion.
He then tells us that the Emperor uses the Amulet of Kings to light the dragon fires in the Temple of the One, and this allows Akatosh to stop any threat from Oblivion from invading Tamriel. This pact has been ongoing between Akatosh and whoever is the Emperor or Empress of Tamriel, as far back as when Alicia led her slave revolt against the Aelids. He didn't say all that, but I just wanted to add it in because I'm a nerd and I wanted to flex. This is where he tells us that the Emperor's other son is called Martin, and he is in the city called Kvatch. But he doesn't know that the Emperor is his father, so we need to convince him to join us. As we arrive outside Kvatch, Citizen has told us that an Oblivion Gate has been opened and Daedra are pouring out of it and killing everyone they find. Here where we speak with the captain of the guard, Savlian, and he tells us to flee, but instead we offer to help.
You want to help? You're kidding, right? If you're serious, maybe I can put you to use. It'll likely mean your death, though.
So he says that he sent some men inside the Oblivion Gate, and if we could get in and find out what happened to them, it would be great. And also maybe close the portal to hell itself if we can, but I can't make any promises. So it's time to run into an Oblivion Gate. Once inside, we regroup with a guard and we tell him that the captain needs him and we can handle it from here. This place is a death trap. We're constantly fighting these scamps. I'm nearly killed straight away by a rock slide after only being inside for 30 seconds. And as we can see, the entire place is fucking landmined.
I want to go home. I don't want to... I want to go home!
Soon, we were able to fight our way into the tower. Once inside, we must keep fighting our way up to the top. The amount of Dremora we have killed has to be a record. Soon, we speak with one of these abominations.
You should not be here, mortal! Your blood is forfeit! Your flesh is mine!
Fortunately for this dickhead, he is fighting the champion of the arena, and we have probably fought more 1v1s than anyone else alive, so we make very, very light work of him. As we talk with the captured guard, he tells us that grabbing the sigil stone from the top of the tower will break the portal. We carry on getting our kill count up by cutting down wave after wave of Dremora and their conjurations. But after this, we are free to grab the sigil stone, and we simply sit back and watch our handiwork as the portal closes. Here we get a trophy for closing an Oblivion gate. With the gate closed and no chance for them to bring reinforcements, we decide to counterattack. Here Savlian says we should check out the nearby chapel for any survivors. So once inside, he orders another guard to escort the civilians to the camp down the road and then quickly rush back, as we will need every available sword. It's here where we finally meet the man we're looking for.
I heard about how you helped the guard drive the Daedra back. Well done.
Yeah, if you recognise that voice, it's because he is voiced by Sean Bean, aka Ned Stark.
And winter is coming.
Aka Boromir.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
Aka Richard Sharp. Everyone will probably get the first two references, but I doubt anyone will get the last one. So we soon break the news to him that he is the Emperor's son, but obviously he doesn't believe me. But we then explain that's why the Daedra attacked here, and it was to kill him, as he is the only person who can use the Amulet of Kings.
Yes, I'll come with you to Wayne Priory and hear what Joffrey has to say. Lead on.
Before we head back though, we must help liberate Kvatch. So Savlian says we need to get the keys and head through some sewers to open the gate to the castle. This fucker with a bow was making everyone nervous, by the way, just constantly aiming at people. So we rush back to the chapel, and here we encounter some of the Empire's finest.
We saw the smoke from the Gold Road while out on patrol. How can we help? We'll be right behind you.
As we ask one of the Kvatch soldiers for the keys, he decides to do one better and says he will lead us to the sewers. So me, Martin, and my mini army head out and start to battle our way to the entrance while Martin is going to town with his dagger. Once we arrive, he wishes us luck and leaves. In the tunnels, we see these three chads are ready to fuck some Daedra up. So once we get the gate open, it's no surprise that they're some of the first into the action. So both our small forces clash, as me and the lads cut down any of the scamps and their beasts until all of them are dead. Oh yeah, and the archer man is still fucking tweaking if you were wondering. I then foolishly charged into the castle alone to try and save the Count of Kvatch, but I got myself completely surrounded. But I am able to cut down the enemies just as backup arrives. It's here where we find the Count is dead, so we take his ring as proof for Savlian. Back outside, we tell Savlian the news, so we give him the ring and he says he will protect it until a new Count is named. It's here where he first names us the hero of Kvatch. I mean, it's not like I was the only one who done anything, but it sticks with us. As we arrive back at Wayne and Priories, we see the cultists are attacking. After this, we find Joffrey and he says they were probably here for the Amulet of Kings, so we need to see if they've found it.
2 seconds later.
They've taken it! The Amulet of Kings is gone! The enemy has defeated us at every turn!
But at least we have Martin, so Joffrey says we need to get the Cloud Ruler Temple, as it's an old stronghold currently owned by the Blades. So myself, Martin and Joffrey mount up and start our journey to Cloud Ruler Temple. Once we arrive, we are given a warm welcome by the Blades who guard here. It's around this moment that we all realise that Martin is officially the main character, which is sort of fine by me because I'm just glad to be here.
Here is Martin Septim, true son of Uriel Septim.
Hail, Dragonborn! Hail, Hail!
Honestly, this is the start of a great friendship with Martin, and who doesn't want to be best mates with Sean Bean? It's here where Joffrey officially asks us to join the Blades, and I accept because we basically already are a member because we were guarding Martin, so we may as well make it official. So our first task is to return to the Imperial City and regroup with Boris. As we reunite with Boris, he quickly tells us that he is being followed, so we must follow the person who is following him. As he said, someone does get up to follow him, so down in the basement we ambush the stupid fucker and kill him. Here we catch Boris up on all that has happened with Martin and the amulet, but he tells me to head to the Arcane University as we need help researching a book. Here we meet Taormina, and she quickly tells us that the assassins are called the Mythic Dawn, cult who follow Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Prince of Destruction. But she says there is a secret code in the books, but she needs to find both book 3 and 4 to complete it. So we ambush this wood elf and tell him to give us the book we need. And after explaining that this cult is the same cult that killed the Emperor, he gives us book 3. But he also tells us where to get book 4. Once again we end up in the sewers, so down here we're meeting with the members of the Mythic Dawn. We're here to buy the book. So I tell Boris I will meet them because my sneaking is fucking terrible, and he agrees. So we sit in the seat and finally we see the cult members, and honestly, how the fuck are these guys beating us? They can't even walk through a door properly.
I'm kind of retarded.
As we're talking to them, Boris gets spotted, so we rush in to save him.
Paradise.
I'm glad you will not.
Maybe not the best way to do it, but we did get our hands on the book we need. Once back at the university, we are told that all 4 books together spell out a code, and the code tells us to search the Imperial tomb nearby for the location of the cult's whereabouts. So after waiting around for ages, we finally get the location to the shrine of Mehrunes Dagon. Here we get a trophy for finding the shrine of Mehrunes Dagon. We then manage to find the cave. Before we go in, I use my remaining brain cells and equipped a disguise. Once inside, we are greeted by a cultist and we give him the correct password to enter. We then meet another cultist and he is in charge of the new recruits, but he soon asks me for something which I can't allow.
Give me your possessions and put on this initiate's robe.
No, I don't think I will.
Well, after this, I then kill him and his friend, and honestly, 20 seconds into being undercover, my cover was blown, so I just kill everyone I get my hands on. But I soon come face to face with my arch nemesis, the Locked Door. It's here where I really live up to my character's name.
Come on, you motherfucker! Ah, shit! God damn it! Same shit, different dog.
6.5 hours later.
Seriously, all Mehrunes Dagon needed to stop me was a master locked door and we were fucked. As we sneak inside, we see the shrine and also the leader giving a speech. So we nod an arrow and fire, and we're left to deal with all his little mates. Then free a captured lizard who's going to be sacrificed, but it's here we managed to get our hands on the Mysterium Xerxes. Now we just need to fight our way out of this cave, which is infested with easily 50 Mythic Dawn members. But don't worry lads, I won't be doing it alone, as the Argonian we freed starts throwing hands while we take down the most dangerous targets. He distracts the weaker enemies, giving me time to pick them off one at a time. And I know I called them farming equipment at the start, so me and my new lizard friend carry on killing every single member we can get our hands on.
You don't know me, son? Get it! 18! You don't know me, son? Get it!
Thank you for saving me, friend. I don't know who you are, but it is clear that Akatosh guides you.
Once back at Cloud Ruler Temple, we give Joffrey the good news that we have the book. This leads to Martin freaking the fuck out, as this book was written by Mehrunes Dagon himself and was given to Mankar Cameron, the leader of the Mythic Dawn cult. Martin also says that Mankar Cameron created for himself his own realm of paradise, and if Martin is able to figure out this book, we can travel to it, kill him, and get the Amulet of Kings back. So while Martin does that, we report to Joffrey, who tells us that the Mythic Dawn spies have been seen outside Bruma, so we need to investigate. 20 seconds later, we soon find these spies, and these two dicks are worse than fucking being undercover than I was. So we kill the two of them, search their bodies for clues. Once inside Bruma, we report to the captain of the guard, Bird, and we tell him that we killed the two spies. Here, he gives us the authority to investigate their homes to see if we can find any other clues. We then enter the home and start our search. But once again, I embarrass myself by not being able to lockpick a simple chest. But inside the basement, we find a letter detailing their plans of opening a great Oblivion gate outside of Bruma. We then quickly pass this information on to Joffrey, so Martin has figured out that we need 4 items to open the portal to Mankar Cameron's realm, and the first is the blood of a Daedric Lord. So he says we can do this by finding a Daedric artifact. So I then hike my way over to the Shrine of Ivzora, and after killing some of her followers who become vampires, she gives us the star, which she probably regrets as I plan to let Martin use it.
Are you serious right now, bro?
There you are. We need to talk. Of course. What trouble, Sean? I can't.
Once back at the temple, we give him the star.
Ah, Azura's star. As beautiful as all the tales tell.
Here we get a trophy for delivering a Daedric artifact to Martin. Joffrey then gives us the amazing news that an Oblivion gate has opened just outside Bruma.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
And well, if Bruma falls, we're pretty fucked. So we need to head down there and teach them how to close the Oblivion gates. We soon arrive outside Bruma and speak with Captain Bard yet again, and he says he is happy to have the hero of Kvatch to help him, but he gives a quick speech to his men before we begin.
Let's show these bastards how we do things in Bruma. Damn right.
We're with you, Captain.
And yeah, Captain Bard isn't just all talk, he can fight as well. But once inside Hell itself, his morale takes a bit of a beating, so we have to encourage him to just follow our lead.
Together. We'll lose. And we'll do that together too.
So me and some of Bruma's finest start mowing down any and all creatures that stand between us and the Sigil Stone.
What's the matter? Get it! Garb.
We once again find the Sigil Stone and take it, and just quickly, there is a lot of Oblivion gates to close in this game, so I will be showing them very, very quickly, as I'm sure you can see this video is already pretty long.
It was an honor to serve with you, sir. Now that I've seen how it's done, I think my guardsmen and I can handle any new gates that open near Bruma.
We then report back to Joffrey and he thanks us for our help, but does say that eventually Bruma will be overrun if we don't stop Mankar Cameron. Martin tells us that the second item we need is the blood of a divine, but Martin soon tells us how we can do this.
How then to obtain the blood of a god? But Joffrey solved it. The blood of Tiber Septim himself, who became one of the divines.
See, to all you Talos doubters, you're awful quiet right now, aren't you? My boy Tiber Septim is a divine, and no amount of Thalmor propaganda will change it.
No!
Joffrey then says to get the blood of Tiber Septim, we need to head to Sancre-Tor, find his armor, and that will do the trick. But we're also told that we need to convince the other city leaders to send aid to Bruma, as without help from them the city will fall, so we head out to recruit their aid. Firstly, we speak with the Countess of Coral and ask for her help, but she won't send troops to Bruma because, surprise surprise, there is an Oblivion gate outside Coral. So yet again we plan to close another gate. Once inside the gate we kill any and all foes who we come across and steal yet another sigil stone to add to our collection. As we report back to her, she thanks us and says she will send troops to Bruma at once.
I will now gladly send soldiers to aid in the defense of Bruma. Consider it done.
We then ask the head of the Elder Council, Otto, to send us troops, but he quite literally says, fuck off, we have our own problems.
You serious?
Next we ask the Count of Cheadenhall for aid, and he says too that if we close the gate outside, he will send us aid. But he also says his son Farwell went inside. If we could save him, it would be greatly appreciated. A guard tells us that Farwell and his knights rushed in 2 days ago, but haven't been seen since. Yet again, we rush head first into another gate. Once inside, we find one of the dead knights straight away, but shortly after that, we find Farwell, the Count's son, and he says that we can close this gate together. And when he says together, he means I do everything and he stays behind us. But his friend appreciates the help and says he will follow our lead. So we charge the tower, fucking up any Dremora we come across. But inside the tower, while I was dueling a Dremora, Farwell was cut down and killed.
Oh no! Anyway, last week...
So his friend tells us to take the ring as the Count will want it as proof of his son's death. But once again, we steal yet another sigil stone. As we return to the Count, he thanks us for closing the gate, but he doesn't seem too sad that his son is dead.
Since the immediate threat to Cheadenhall is now eliminated, I will grant your request and send reinforcements to Bruma.
As you can guess, we meet with the Count of Skingrad and he says exactly the same. Close the gate and he will help. As usual, we enter the gate, kill a fuck ton of Dremora and then steal the sigil stone. So we report back to the Count.
You have helped me by closing the Oblivion Gate near Skingrad. I will likewise help you by sending aid to Bruma.
We then meet with the soldiers of Kvatch and ask for their help.
I have few enough men to spare, but you have more than earned our help. I will send what aid I can. Bruma must not share the fate of our city.
I'm sure you've figured out a pattern here. So in Anvil, they need a gate closed.
Boring! Boring!
We rush inside the gate and steal ourselves yet another sigil stone. We then report back to her.
With Anvil safe for the moment, I will send some of my best soldiers to bolster the Bruma garrison.
We then speak with the Count of Breville, and you will never believe it. He needs an Oblivion gate closed. So after that, we report back to him.
I will send my guard captain, Viera Laris, to Bruma's aid.
So we close the gate and he gives us one single soldier. I feel like we've been scammed. As we meet with the Count of Leowin, he says he doesn't need a gate closed. Psych! Yeah, that's a fucking lie, of course he does.
3 days later.
We yet again report back to him.
I will do as you ask. Let no one say Leowin did not do its part to uphold the Empire.
Honestly, guys, I feel like I've aged 40 fucking years closing all these Oblivion gates. It's ridiculous. So next up, we then arrived at the ruined fortress of Sancrator. Once inside, we find ourselves fighting against undead blades who have obviously been cursed, as they wouldn't attack us for no reason. But we soon kill the skeleton. It's here where we speak with the ghost of Raelis, an ancient blade, and he tells us what happened here.
Did not know that the Underking, who was Zirin Artis, had risen to take his first revenge upon his former lord.
So he asks us to kill the 3 other blades who are cursed, and then together we can lift the curse on Sancretor. So we then find the skeleton of Kaznar and defeat him. It's here he asks us to free his other brothers yet again. Soon we are able to find and kill yet another blade. Here we speak with Elaine, and he warns us of the evil magic here. We also loot Northwind off his corpse, which you can find in Skyrim. Finally, we're able to kill the last of the 4 blades. Here we talk with Valdemar, and he thanks us for freeing him and his brothers. With the curse lifted from the 4 blades, they use their power to unlock the way for us. This allows us to find and take the armour of Tiber Septim, also known as the god Talos. Now I know what you're expecting. Next, we return to Martin and give him the armour. Well, you would be wrong. If Martin is getting his own divine armour, I plan on getting my own. And if you've played this game before, you know what quest is about to get completed. We then arrive in Anvil and speak with a prophet who teaches us some history, but also warns us about a new threat.
Saint Pelinal, the divine crusader of legend, Alicia's companion when she overthrew the rule of the Aelids 3,000 years ago. Pelinal, with the aid of the gods, fought the Aeliad sorcerer King Umaril and slew him. But Umaril's spirit survived, and he has now returned.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
With Umaril returned, the only way to defeat him is use the relics of Pelinal Whitestrake. For anyone who doesn't know who that is, he killed a lot of elves, and I mean a lot. But we tell this prophet that we will gather the Crusaders' relics and defeat Umaril. So after praying at 9 shrines to the 9 divines, we are granted a vision. It's here where we come face to face with the angriest man to ever exist, and a main reason why humans aren't still slaves.
As Umaril the Accursed found a way back, the foulest of a foul race, 1,000 curses upon his unholy name.
Honestly, he has calmed down a lot since he died, but he tells us to go visit the shrine to where he was killed, as it has the first of his relics, his helmet. We soon find the shrine has been buried underwater. Once inside, we find the body of one of the Knights of the Nine, a holy order who guard the Crusaders' relics. But soon, we are able to find and take the helmet for our own. So now we must travel to the Priory of the Nine, as it will have more information on the Crusaders' relics. We then use that Dead Knight's ring to open a secret entrance inside the Priory. Once inside, we meet Sir Emil, the former leader of the Knights of the Nine, and he refuses to give us the armour of Pelinal until we can prove ourselves.
I'm taller than you. I'm better looking than you. I'm stronger than you. I will kick your ass.
So luckily for us, we have to beat all 8 of the remaining knights here, and honestly we spend the next 5 minutes just embarrassing these guys in front of each other. Imagine being dead and then someone arrives and kicks your ass in front of your undead friends. After beating every single one of them, we're able to claim the chest piece of Pelinal Whitestrake. I then speak again with Sir Emil, and he tells us that most of the knights in here know where the relics are, as they held one of them at some point or another. So I gather which information I can by speaking to them, and we need to find the gauntlets, the boots, the mace and the shield. But no one knows where the greaves or the sword are being held. Sir Casimir tells us the story of the gauntlets. How he struck down an unarmed man and the gauntlets fell from his hands and have lay in the Chapel of Coral ever since. As we arrive in Coral, we see he was telling the truth, as the gauntlets are still there and we are unable to pick them up. It's here where we speak to an ancestor of Casimir's, and he tells us that because of what Casimir done, he and his family are cursed. After asking a priest, he tells us how to cure him. So now we have become cursed. Because of this selfless act, we're able to lift the gauntlets. Next up, we meet with a priest of Cain, and she says to get the boots, we need to pass the test of Cain. So we then arrive at where the test takes place, and as soon as I see the bear, I knew exactly what was about to happen. So we spend the next few minutes getting mauled by a bear because attacking back will mean we fail the test. But after this, we grab the boots as well. As we arrive in Leywin, another man tells us he was questing for the relics, but seeing that we have some of them already, he is happy to simply let us find the rest. So we head down, pray at the shrine, and this grants us a vision where we can see the mace. But with the gap too large to jump, there is no way across. That is, unless you have the boots of the Crusader, which we do. And once you equip them, you can simply walk across the gap. Back in the chapel, however, we see some of Ulmarill's forces have attacked the chapel. Here is where we see that curse we took in full effect. But after killing all the enemies, this man, who we spoke to earlier, asked to join our Knights of the Nine, and we accept. We then quickly travel to Fort Bulwark, as this is where the shield is kept. Once inside, we are faced with a lot of magic users, so we rush in and try to kill them as quickly as possible. And yet again, I forget about my stamina. But we kill the last of the conjurers shortly after this. Further into the keep, we fight and kill a flame Atronach. Fuck me, why did they make them so caked up in the remaster? Someone needs to give me a potion of fire resistance. Here we find a Knight of the Nine captured, and he tells us about the puzzles deeper inside Fort Bulwark, and that if we solve these puzzles, it will lead us to the shield. So I very easily solved the first puzzle by making the statues face towards us, and the next one we need to place all of the correct items in the correct chest to open the door. Once we do this, we can finally grab the shield. Back at the Priory, another knight tells us he knows where the sword is, as his master went to retrieve it but died. He says it is being used by the last undead member of the Nine. He also hands us the greaves, completing the armor set, so we just need the sword. I then let an elf join us because I really want to see Pelnul's reaction at an elf protecting his armor. We arrive outside the cave where the sword is. Inside, we find the dead knight who tried to retrieve the sword, but I soon face Sir Vlindrel and defeat him with ease. But this allows us to grab the sword, but also free his soul as he was cursed. Once we arrive back at the Priory, we soon grab all the relics we have collected and put them on. Honestly lads, it is hands down one of the best looking armor sets in all of Elder Scrolls history.
There it is. Magnum! Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God, it's beautiful.
So I have to flex this as I slowly stroll into the chapel. Here we speak with the prophet once again.
You are an embodiment of Pelennul Whitestrake, the bane of Umarul the Unfeathered. The time has come for you to fulfill your destiny. Umarul lies hid in the ancient fane of Garlus Malatar. You must go there and destroy him.
Once again, he proves that Talos is a divine, as he says that with 8 divines we wouldn't be able to beat Ulmaril, but with 9 we can, as he gives us the blessing of Talos, allowing us to travel into the spirit realm after Ulmaril is defeated and slay him permanently. Before we leave though, 2 Nords ask to join, and obviously we accept, as well as another elf, because I genuinely think they don't realise that Pelnul hated their kind. As we arrive outside the Aelid ruin, we see our Knights of the Nine rock up all together.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
So we enter the ruins and come face to face with more of Ulmaril's forces, and we start to cut them down. But soon we start to take losses ourselves, so we need to end this quickly. Deeper into the ruins, as we kill them, they simply stand back up, so some magic is being used to revive them. Soon I destroy this orb and it shatters time and space around us, leaving us alone. So we push on by ourselves to face Ulmaril. As I slowly ascend the steps, we come face to face with the ancient Aelid Sorcerer King, and our duel begins. Just like Pelnul before me, we stand and trade blows with Ulmaril, but then I start to use our speed to land strikes and then quickly retreat. Eventually this leads to Ulmerul's defeat, but he isn't dead as we use the blessing of Talos to follow him into the spirit realm. We then start our duel again in the sky above the Imperial City, but yet again Ulmerul makes the same mistake and we quickly finish the job.
You have completed your divine task. You have restored the order. You have defeated the enemy of the Nine. The order shall serve as the sword and the shield of the Nine in the dark times to come. We owe you a debt of thanks.
As we speak with one of the knights, he tells us after we killed Ulmerul, they found me dead. But obviously this was just us being in the spirit realm clapping Ulmerul's cheeks. So as they seen our dead body, they carried us back here.
Slain in battle with the dread Ulmerul, by the grace and mercy of the Nine, the Crusader lives again. Ulmerul has been slain by the Crusader. His very spirit cast into the void and destroyed for all eternity. He will never rise again. Hail the Lord Crusader!
Hail the
Lord
Crusader!
So after all that, we can finally return to Martin, and we rush back in with our new drip and give him the armor of Talos.
The Septim blood may flow through my veins, but you have the soul of a hero.
So he tells us we need to find a great Welking stone from an ancient Aelid ruin. And I mean, we are just after killing the Aelid's greatest king, so this will be a walk in the park. We then arrive outside the city of Misgarand, but once inside we easily find the stone we need. Once back at Cloud Ruler Temple, we see Martin has the armor on and is ready for battle. As we speak with him, he says the last thing we need is a great sigil stone, so we need to close a great Oblivion gate. Here he tells us we need to let them open a great gate outside Bruma and then close it for our plan to work. So as I offer to lead the defense of Bruma, he once again shows us how great of a man he is.
No. I'll lead the defense of Bruma myself. If I am to be Emperor, it's time I started acting like one. Remember when we first met in Kavach? I told you that I didn't want any part of the gods' plan. I still don't know if there is a divine plan, but I've come to realize that it doesn't matter. What matters is that we act, that we do what's right when confronted with evil. That's what you did at Kavach. It wasn't the gods that saved us, it was you. Please, my friend, I need your judgment, not your obedience.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
As we enter Bruma, we see all the other soldiers from the other cities are here and ready for a fight. Once again, we talk with the Countess and explain the situation to her. But once she is unsure, we tell her that Martin himself is waiting to explain his plan to her. As they start to talk, Martin tells her that he will lead the defense with the rest of the soldiers. As the smaller gates begin to open all around us, we will hold the enemy back. But once the great gate is opened, I will rush inside and close it as we have the most experience closing gates. So Martin leads us out through the streets of Bruma as we just aura farm the entire way with several characters we know and love fighting beside us. Once outside, we see all the additional troops we managed to gather are also ready. As we all rush to the gates, Martin gives a speech before the Battle of Bruma begins.
Soldiers of Cyrodiil, the Empire will stand or fall by what we do here today. Will we let the Daedra do to Bruma what they did to Kavach? Will we let them burn our homes? Will we let them kill our families? No, we make our stand here today for the whole of Cyrodiil. We must hold fast until the hero of Kavach can destroy their great gate. We must kill whatever comes out of that gate. Soldiers of Cyrodiil, do you stand with me?
They then open the first gate, so we hold our position and let them charge us, while some archers fire from the ridge behind us. But eventually they start sending giant crocs through the portals, so I do my best to target them so our men don't get overrun, but that's interrupted as yet another smaller gate opens, so I rush over to stop them flowing out of it. Yet again the Daedroth are swarming our position, so I continue to target them, but once again another gate opens.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
It's here where I start to slow down as I've cut down 3 Daedroth back to back and I'm still surrounded. Finally, the great gate opens while I'm barely alive, so I rush past the oncoming enemies and enter the great gate. Once inside, we see the great Daedric siege engine is slowly crawling its way to the portal, so we have to be quick. If this thing reaches Bruma, it will be utterly destroyed, so with time against us and no other way across, I leap across this gap, but soon we manage to enter the tower. Once inside, we duel and quickly defeat the Sigil Keeper and take the key, allowing us access to every room in the tower. Higher up in the tower, we are struggling as we are fighting 5 or 6 enemies at once, and when I have to use magic, you know the situation is getting desperate. Once again, all that fighting in the arena serves us well, but we soon kill both our foes. Finally, we are able to steal the great Sigil Stone. Here, we get a trophy for destroying the Great Gate. Luckily for everyone, Martin survived the fight and asked us to meet him back at Cloud Ruler Temple.
Game over, he's saying. Well done, guys.
Captain Bird also thanks us for our help. And thankfully, we didn't lose any main characters at all.
We failed. We failed because we got complacent. We got arrogant.
Back at the temple, Martin tells us he has everything needed to open the portal to Mankar Cameron's realm, but warns us this could be a one-way trip as he has no way of bringing us back. Inside Mankar Cameron's realm, we see why he calls it his paradise, as it is breathtaking, but we are here for his head and the Amulet of Kings.
If you are truly the hero of destiny, as I hope, the garden will not hold you for long. Lift your eyes to Kairek Agayal, my seat at the pinnacle of paradise. I shall await you there.
Here we come face to face with the Dremora who serves him.
You destroyed the Sigil Tower at Ganona. My kin, say you fought well. Your swift retribution earned you much respect among my people. We had not expected that a mortal would act with such resolution and honor. It is no dishonor for us to speak.
It's nice to meet an enemy who has a little respect for us, but we still need to kill him to advance further.
2 seconds later.
We then enter a cave, and this is where the mythic Dawn cultists go when they die, so we probably know about 90% of people in here. Once inside, we speak with a cultist and he decides he wants to join us when I say I'm here to kill Mankar Cameron. So we place a lot of trust in him and enter this cage where he pretends to torture us, but he soon raises it back up and releases us on the far side, and this avoids a lot of fights for us. Deeper in the cave, we fight some of these abominations like a spider lady.
Yo, I'm down bad, bro.
But once again, we meet our friend and he starts to follow us. Once outside the cave, we speak with Mankar's son, who we killed in the sewers in the Imperial City, and his daughter, who we slaughtered at the Shrine of Dagon. But we follow them inside as they say their father wishes to speak to us. Finally, we meet the architect behind the Emperor's assassination.
I have waited a long time for you, champion of old Tamriel. Lord Dagon shall walk Tamriel again. The world shall be remade. The new age shall rise from the ashes of the old. The Emperor is dead. The Amulet of Kings is mine. And the last defender of the last ragged septim stands before me, in the heart of my power.
Nobody calls Martin Septim ragged in front of me and gets away with it, so soon we start to fight both his children.
To see the day, Lord.
This leaves Mankar at our mercy, and after several strikes, we're able to kill him. We then grab the Amulet of Kings off his body as his realm collapses. Here, we get teleported back to the temple and tell Martin all that we have done. He then finally puts on the Amulet of Kings, proving that he is indeed Uriel's son and also worthy to be emperor. He says we need to rush over to Councillor Ocado and let him appoint Martin as emperor so he can relight the dragon fires. Thankfully, Boris was already here and tells us he has ordered Ocado to wait inside the council chambers.
Martin Septim, on behalf of the Elder Council, I accept your claim to the Imperial
Chancellor
throne.
Ocado!
We should arrange
Chancellor Ocado, the city is under attack. Oblivion gates have opened and Daedra are inside the walls. The guard is overwhelmed.
So Martin says we need to get him to the temple right now so he can relight the dragon fires. As we emerge outside, we can see the streets are flooded with all sorts of Daedric forces. Just outside the temple, we see multiple Oblivion gates are now opened inside the walls.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
And honestly, everyone here is fighting to protect the Emperor. Even Ocado takes one for the team and gets knocked unconscious. But worst of all, Joffrey was dueling 3 Jamora at once, and by the time me and the other guards reached him, it was too late.
We're too late. Mehrunes Dagon is here. Lighting the dragon fires will no longer save us. The barriers that protected us from Oblivion are gone.
With Mehrunes Dagon inside the city, all seems lost until Martin says that he has an idea.
Never back down, never what?
Never give up.
Never back down, never what?
But he needs us to get him inside the temple. With Dagon in our way, I try anything to move him. We do manage to get Martin inside the temple, and here he speaks to us one last time.
I do what I must do. I cannot stay to rebuild Tamriel. That task falls to others. Farewell. You've been a good friend in the short time that I've known you. But now I must go. The dragon waits.
My time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
But after defeating Dagon, Martin, still as an avatar of Akatosh, becomes a statue and dies.
The amulet is shattered. Dagon is defeated. With the dragon's blood and the amulet of kings, we have sealed the gates of Oblivion forever. The last of the Septims passes now into history. I go gladly, for I know my sacrifice is not in vain. I take my place with my father and my father's fathers.
Here we get a trophy for finishing the main story. We then speak with Ocado and we explain that Martin died to save everyone as he cracked the amulet and became an avatar of Akatosh.
It can't be undone. It's supposed to be me.
But thankfully this sacrifice has sealed the gates of Oblivion forever, and no other Daedric prince will ever be allowed to invade Tamriel again. And for our part in this story, Ocado rewards us.
In my capacity as Lord High Chancellor of the Elder Council, I hereby proclaim you Champion of Cyrodiil.
So with the main quest over, I then decided to do the Fighters Guild next, as I feel it made the most sense, as we will be using the same skills as we did for the main story and arena questline. So after arriving in Anvil, we speak with the leader of the Anvil Guild Hall. as the Fighters Guild has several guild halls where we will be getting our quests from. We get a trophy for joining the Fighters Guild. For our first assignment, we have to help a woman clear mountain lions out of her house as they're killing her rats. Not quite the same level as fighting Daedra, but it's okay. As we talk to her, she tells us that a lion is in her basement right now. So we rush in and kill the beast. She then blames us on her neighbour. So in the meantime, me and this hunter found and killed several more of the lions outside the city. So I finally decide to follow her neighbour, who she accused, and we do manage to catch her placing meat outside the basement. As we confront her neighbour, she then says she just wanted the rats to be killed. I mean, fair enough. But we tell Arvina that it was her neighbour who was luring the lions over. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of apprentice in the Fighters Guild. Next up, we're heading to a trader in Anvil as his store keeps getting broken into. So as we talk with the owner, he says it's around the same time every night they keep breaking in. So he wants us to guard the shop and kill anyone who tries enter.
2 seconds later.
The 3 worst burglars then break in, and without speaking, we all draw our weapons and start fighting. So after killing the first one, the second, and then finally the third are easily killed right after. We then report back to the shop owner, and he is happy to pay us for our time. So we have to go to Chedenhall next, as it's the only place with jobs, and after finishing a few dull quests, we get promoted. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of journeyman in the Fighters Guild. Once we arrive in Coral, we speak with Modron Orion, who's the main champion for the Fighters Guild, and he tells us to speak with the leader.
Boring!
So we meet with Velena Daunton, who runs the Fighters Guild. She basically rambles on for a bit and tells us that Modron will have a few new jobs for us. So he tells us that we need to find a Fighters Guild member as they haven't finished their job, so we need to find out what's happened. Here we meet with Maglier, and he tells us that he couldn't be fucked doing the job as the money was low and it was too much hassle. So here we done his job for him and simply grabbed a journal from a cave. As we return the journal, we are thanked for our help, and he shits all over Maglier. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of swordsman in the Fighters Guild. As we report back to where it all began, we need to hunt down a group of thieves, but we won't be doing it alone, as Maglier has been told to help us out. So we speak with a local man in Anvil, and he tells us where the thieves are hiding. As we make it to the cave, I head in and clear them out. Oh yeah, Maglier stood at the fucking entrance doing nothing and watched me have to deal with a 5v1, so he is dead to me. But we report back and get our reward. Modron then told us to bring the Guildmaster's son with us to our next job, as he is low in confidence and his mother doesn't want him to get killed like his older brother, so he tags along. But we both arrive at the cave. Inside, we have a fuck ton of trolls and ogres to kill, so we lock shields and start swinging as the trolls pour through these small corridors of the cave one at a time, but we soon manage to kill the last ogre. In the depths of this cavern, we find our fellow guild member, but beside his body, we do find a very rare and unique looking shield. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of protector in the Fighters Guild. Next up, we have to head to Breville to find our good friend Maglier. I fucking hate him, the little rat.
I wish he'd teach me how to do that.
Bye.
As we find him in a tavern, he tells us to go fuck ourselves, as he has decided to join the Blackwood Company.
What the fuck did you say?
And we see he is carrying that strange shield we found back in the cave. As much as I'd love to beat him around this tavern with that shield, we can't. As As we report back to Modron, he tells us that the Blackwood Company was a relatively small mercenary group, but for some reason they've become very powerful very quickly, so it's up to us to stop them. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Defender in the Fighters Guild. Once we meet Modron at his home, he believes that the Blackwood Company have a nearby base in an old Aelid ruin, so we both are heading over there to check it out.
20 minutes later.
But as we arrive, all we find are a few mud crabs, so we both plan on heading back to his house and rethinking our plan. I cannot explain how much I laughed at this happening over and over again. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Warder in the Fighters Guild. Another one for reaching the rank of Guardian in the Fighters Guild. Modron then tells us that he sent the Guildmaster's son, who we met earlier, on a job to clear trolls out of a cave, but he hasn't reported back. As we arrive, we soon find dead guild members everywhere. Honestly, we end up following a trail of our other guild members who are all dead. Deeper inside the cave, we find the Guildmaster's son dead, but in his journal he does in fact say that the Blackwood Company is behind the attack. After we report to Modron, he tells us that he will tell the Guildmaster what happened. As we arrive in Chedenhall, we are told that Modron has been removed from the guild, so we have to do a few more quests for this orc before he can promote us. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of champion in the Fighters Guild. So we meet with Modron and he says that a high-ranking member of the Blackwood Company is nearby, so we should go capture him and return him to his house for questioning. This leads to us arriving outside yet another cave. Once inside, we rush towards our foes and begin hacking and slashing, but after killing the archer, we fight and kill the man with the hammer, and luckily for us, there was only one like him.
2 seconds later.
Seriously, these three Robert Baratheon wannabes had me running for my life at one stage. But once again, we land a heavy strike and then we use our speed to outmaneuver and kill the first of the three. After this, the second one is swiftly killed, and well, with his buddies dead, the last one doesn't stand a chance. We find the member of the Blackwood Company and the lizard agrees to follow us back. But you'd be a fool to leave all these good weapons and armour behind, so I just carry about 4 times my carry weight of axes, hammers and ebony armour. Yes, I did slow walk this back to the Imperial City, and yes, if the lizard did run, he would have gotten away.
One eternity later.
But look at all that money, it was totally worth it.
Go to WWE.com and register. I wouldn't want $1 million.
Once back at Modron's house, he says we can either talk the information out of him or beat it out, and after talking to me for 5 seconds, he ends up hating me even more. After this, he tells us that they have over 100 members in the Blackwood Company, but I need more information, so I continue smashing his face in with my fist. When that doesn't work, I pull out the oldest trick in the book, an arrow to the knee, and after launching a second arrow into his knee, he finally agrees to talk. It's here where he tells us the name of their leader, but that's the last bit of information he gives us.
Nothing more. I chose death. Long live the Blackwood Company.
So Modron says he needs us to infiltrate the Blackwood Company and find out why they're so strong. But I can't rock up to the Blackwood Company dressed like I normally am, but because I'm a master of disguise, as we learned earlier, I simply dressed up as the most generic NPC possible, and I'm even using one of their shields as a finishing touch. So later that night, we arrive outside their hall. Once inside, we speak with the lizard, and I'm sure the disguise will hold up.
I think I've heard of you, though. Fighters Guild, aren't you? Done many jobs for them recently.
They let us join anyway after I tell them some lies about needing money, but we're heading with 3 other members to wipe out a village full of goblins for them. But before we go, he gives us something to drink, hissed sap from the hissed trees that grow in Blackmarsh. If you're wondering what this is, it's basically the lizard's version of cocaine.
I don't know about that. Tell you what, I'll get us started. That feels better.
The Argonians took a shit ton of this stuff and then charged into the Oblivion Gates, and they fought that well that Mehrunes Dagon ordered the gates be closed. Once we drink it, we arrive at the village and see tons of goblins, so we just slaughter them. But we start to feel a little unwell during this, so to absolutely no one's surprise, we passed out and luckily we were dragged back to Modron's house. He then asks us to check out the village to make sure the people are safe. And yes, if you have a brain, you've worked out what actually happened. When we arrive, we see all the villagers and their livestock have been slaughtered by us and the Blackwood members.
What have I done?
Modron then tries to comfort us, but also decides enough is enough. I will march into their hall and kill everyone inside and then destroy the tree, crippling their power. Before we do that, I should probably remove the disguise so no one thinks it was actually me who killed all those people.
You are no longer one of us. Fighters Guild spy. Traitor, your life is forfeit.
No time to waste, we start by killing the cat. We then cut down another lizard member we are finally able to get our hands on and kill the invisible archer. Upstairs we come face to face with a lizard who made us kill those people. Finally we duel our leader and it doesn't take too long before we kill him as well.
You're pathetic.
It's here where we sabotage the pumps around the tree, which destroys the hiss tree, stopping them from using the sap. After that, we finally get our chance at revenge, as Maglair says he will kill us for what we have done.
I've been looking forward to this.
But if only you fought as good as you talked. Once back at Modron's home, we tell him that we are victorious.
We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it!
So he suggests we tell Velena that we have avenged her son's death. So she is pleased to hear about our victory, but also decides that it is time for us to lead the guild as she was blinded by fear. Here we get a trophy for beating the Fighters Guild questline. I then do quickly return to Modron and ask him to be our second in command.
Me? Pah! I was just getting used to being retired. You can see how good my painting is getting. I'm an old man. I've done my time.
But after thinking about it for a short time, he does accept. And yes, it is a very nice painting, Modron. So I then return to the Priory of the Nine and put Pelinal Whitestrake's armour back where it belongs, as it has served my purpose and it allows the Knights of the Nine to guard it for us. After all we have experienced, I think a good night's rest in the Imperial City is just what we need.
You sleep rather soundly for a murderer. That's good. You'll need a clear conscience for what I'm about to propose. Ironic, then, that I come to you now as Speaker for the Dark Brotherhood. My name is Lucian LeChance, and my voice is the will of the Night Mother.
Lucian then asks us if we wish to join, we need to kill an old man called Rufio outside the Imperial City, and I accept. So early the next morning we arrive at the inn, and once inside we use several of our artifacts we have picked up along the way to sneak inside and kill Rufio while he sleeps. Lucian then visits us again as we are sleeping, and he says as Speaker of the Dark Brotherhood he oversees his own group of assassins and he wants us to join that family. Here we get a trophy for joining the Dark Brotherhood. So we enter the abandoned house we were told about, and deeper inside we soon see the black door which leads to the sanctuary.
Greetings, brother. Greetings. I am Oshiva, mistress of this sanctuary. Lucian has told me all about you. I welcome you to the Dark Brotherhood.
Before we meet anyone else, she gives us a set of Dark Brotherhood armour. It's easily the best looking faction armour in any Elder Scrolls game. So I decide to introduce myself to our new family, and be honest, he looks like Kermit from that meme, doesn't he? As we talk to each member, they tell us more about Lucian LeChance, or the Night Mother, or Sithis. We also see we have a new pet rat. The rat might like us, but this fucking cat doesn't.
Tenets prevent me from killing you, but I don't have to like you.
Shut up, bitch!
Here we speak with Vicente, and yes, he is a vampire, and when he doesn't feed, he goes bald. So if you see him with no hair, he's probably a hungry boy. But he is the one who will be giving us contracts for now, and luckily he has the first one just ready for us.
I'm not sure how you feel about pirates, but you've got to kill one. A captain, in fact, on his ship, surrounded by his crew.
So after telling us where he is, we leave. So we arrive at night time, and yeah, honestly, see the difference in speed from light to heavy armor. It's crazy.
Let's go, Robbie. Let's go. Let's go, Robbie. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Robbie.
Under the cover of darkness, we were able to jump onto the back of the ship. And here you will notice I have the skeleton key, making lockpicking a lot easier. Like a true assassin, we kill our target without him ever knowing we were there. After that, I remove my invisibility ring, and we head back to report our success. So we report back and quickly get our reward, but we also get our next job.
The target is a wood elf named Bainlin. You will find him at his home in Bruma.
For this job, we will get a bonus for making his death look like an accident. As always, we make our move under the cover of darkness as we spot the target's house. And yeah, light armor and acrobatics really are a joke in this game. We then sneak in through the basement. Once inside the house, we easily sneak past the target's nephew and up the stairs to stage the accident. Once that is done, we sneak straight back out the way we came in. Vicente then gives us our reward, but also a bonus for making it look like an accident. Here, we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Slayer in the Dark Brotherhood. For our next job, we need to infiltrate a place we have been to before.
Your target is a dark elf named Valen Dreth. He thinks he's safe in prison. He is tragically mistaken.
Flashback.
Yeah, we get to kill this little bitch from the start, and I am convinced Vicente gave us this job because he knows we have met before.
A prisoner recently escaped from the prison using a set of secret tunnels connected to the Imperial City's sewer system. It should be easy enough to locate Dreth in his small cell. Besides, I think you know the way,
Yeah, he definitely knows we escaped the prison, but thank you Vicente for giving us this job. Looks like we're back where it all started, but this time we aren't stopping the Oblivion crisis. No, we're here for revenge. Honestly, I'm sick of crawling through these sewers, but soon we run into some guard patrols.
Yeah, what a laugh, huh? Just who are we keeping secure? Dreth? Since that other one got away, he's the only one rotting down here.
Now is probably a good time to say that we get a bonus for not killing any guards, otherwise this guy would have been dead. But when we see an opening, we simply sneak past him. The ring and the armor make this far too easy.
Bro, what is he? Where is he at?
But eventually, we return to our jail cell from the start.
Wait, I know you. You're the one. The day the Emperor was killed. They went through your cell. You lucky bastard. But you came back?
We then sneak back out the way we came in. We return and get both our reward and the bonus, and yes, Vicente is hungry again. Our next job requires us not to kill someone for once, but we then have to pretend to kill him, and our target will explain more. Under the cover of darkness, we sneak to the target's house and break in. Once inside, he tells us that he owes some people money and they plan on killing him, so we need to use a special poison to fake his death.
See, when Hydes's heart gets here, I'll put on a little act. Then you cut me with the knife and it looks like I die.
As the hired killer bursts inside, I waste no time and stab him. I mean, I made this look as real as possible, but as we can see, no one is catching us as we put on our special ring and run like our lives depended on it.
24 hours later.
Once inside the chapel, we give Motier the cure and he is back on his feet, but we soon escort him to the tavern and he thanks us for our work. As we return, we receive our reward, some gold, and also another rank. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Eliminator in the Dark Brotherhood. So from now on, we take our orders from Uchiva herself, and she gives us another contract.
Your target is a high elf named Phalion. He lives somewhere in the Imperial City and fancies long walks.
But she says that we need to kill our contract in a hidden area for the bonus, as a certain Imperial watchman has dedicated himself to stopping us. So anytime we operate in the Imperial City, we have to be careful. But just as we are leaving, Uchiva says something quite unsettling.
I've heard some talk. This past year, some family members have been found murdered. Could there be an assassin among assassins?
I mean, she has to be mistaken, as no one can infiltrate the Dark Brotherhood, but we will keep our eyes open for any treachery. Luckily for us, as we arrive, we find our target, and this one really is the easiest job we will ever get.
Whoa! You shouldn't sneak up on people like that.
Uchiva thanks us for a job well done and gives us our well-earned bonus, but she gives us another job soon after this.
Nestled in the mountains to the west lies Fort Such. It is the home of the warlord Roderick and his mercenaries. Roderick has recently taken ill. You must infiltrate Fort Such, find Roderick's medicine, and replace it with a poisoned bottle I will provide.
As always, we wait for nighttime before we start to infiltrate the fort. Luckily for us, we find an old crack and sneak in this way instead of the front door. Once inside, with the use of our ring and the skeleton key, we were able to sneak past several guards and lockpick all the lock gates to infiltrate our way inside, until finally we sneak our way to the target's room. Once here, we were able to replace his medicine with the poison, and after that, we simply leave the same way we entered.
Yes! Knew I could do it! Get me out of this shithole!
We return and get both our reward and the bonus for remaining undetected. For our next contract, we have one of the best quests in the entire game. We need to enter a house with 5 guests and kill them one by one.
The guests believe there is a chest of gold hidden in the house and have agreed to be locked inside until one of them finds it. There is, of course, no chest of gold. The guests will find no key. After you arrive, the doors will be locked behind you, as everyone expects.
Yet again, we put on another disguise. Here we meet with a host of this competition, and he also serves the Night Mother, so he gives us the key to the house. Once inside, I speak with Mathilde, and I plan on smooth talking everyone first so they won't suspect me when the killing starts.
Just realised. What? I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Next up, Devesi Dran, a dark elf who is easily convinced of everything we say.
I'm kind of retarded.
But here Mathilde signs her own death warrant by asking to team up with us. Here we meet with Neville, a retired Imperial soldier, and then Nels the Naughty, who is a drunken Nord who straight away trusts us 100%. But after telling Mathilde to search the basement, we easily kill her. After that, the last guest, Primo, starts to panic as Mathilde's body has been found.
A guest has been murdered. So it begins. You mark my words, this entire party is a trap. Someone wants us all dead and now they have their chance.
Well, Neville, you're spot on, as I take out yet another guest undetected.
We're being stalked like animals in the forest. I'm still not sure if the killer is one of the other guests or is hiding somewhere in the house. One thing I do know is that the killer won't just stop with 2. They never do. You and I, we need to watch each other's backs.
Yeah, Neville, I'm definitely going to place a dagger in your back when you're not paying attention. So I quickly take out Primo after this. It's here where I decide to turn Nels against Neville and blame him for the deaths. So Nels plans to take matters into his own hands. Well, Neville, I told you I'd be watching your back. With the last guest killed, we can finally leave. So we collect both our reward and the bonus. Our next target is Adamus Philida, the Imperial Guard who has been trying to stop us for years, so his time to die has come.
Yes, yes, the Black Hand has sanctioned the Rose of Sithis. It is an enchanted arrow that will kill Philida instantly.
But to earn our bonus, we need to take his finger and place it in his successor's office. As we arrive in Leywin, sometimes you just need to keep an assassination simple, so I lock onto my target and use the special arrow to take him out. We then run off to escape any repercussions, but one guard is following us, so we decide to take him out with some style. We then very sneakily place the ring in his successor's office to get our bonus. Once again, we claim the reward and the bonus. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of assassin in the Dark Brotherhood. After this, we get given a letter by Lucian Lechance himself, and it tells us to meet him at a nearby fort and to tell no one else what we are doing. So without wasting any time, we rush over to find him. But it's here where he gives us some shocking news.
The Black Hand has learned that the Dark Brotherhood has been infiltrated. By whom and for what purpose we do not yet know. Ochiva, Vicente Valtieri, Antoinette Marie, Gogron Grobalmag, Talendril, Mirage Dar, and Tainava. All these family members must die.
This is the worst!
We have to kill them all to purify the Dark Brotherhood, as one or more of them are traitors. And yeah, the Dark Brotherhood don't take betrayal lightly, as these souls will be offered to Sithis. As we walk back, we realise we will have to pick them off one at a time or risk being overwhelmed and killed, but we do have the element of surprise, as no one will be expecting this.
Ah, there you are. Look, I've been thinking, and, well, I guess I just want to say that I am sorry for the way I've treated you in the past.
Well, my furry friend, I appreciate the apology, but I still have a job to do. So we use our ring and silently take him out with a single arrow. We follow this up by swiftly killing every other member one at a time.
Night, mother, I am dead inside.
Once we return to Lucian, he tells us the purification is complete, and he rewards us by naming us his silencer, his very own personal assassin.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
We get a trophy for reaching the rank of silencer in the Dark Brotherhood.
Your life in the sanctuary is over. Those contracts are behind you. Now, you will serve the Black Hand. You will serve me.
He then tells us that we will be getting our contracts from dead drops from now on, and will only meet in person when absolutely necessary. Before we leave, he does have one last gift for us. He then gives us Shadowmere, his very own horse, and yes, it's the very same one that appears in Skyrim. As we arrive at our first dead drop, we see we must kill a necromancer in a cave, so it shouldn't be too troublesome. Using our new horse, we soon arrive outside the cave. Once we enter, we find the necromancer's journal, and as long as he is carrying a certain item, he is invincible. So we hide in the shadows, and once he is close, we pickpocket the object and, well, he drops dead. Well, we soon find our second target, and we must kill a mother and all her children. Once we enter her farm, we start chatting away, and we ask her where her children are. Foolishly, she thinks we are a delivery service and gives us the locations of all her sons and daughters, allowing us to find and kill them one by one. All we have to do is leave no survivors here, and yes, I did kill the dog. Out in the wilds, we soon find and kill one of her daughters easily with a single arrow. Inside the Imperial City, we stalk our next target through the streets and take him out.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but I was sent to ask for your help.
This woman just watched an assassination take place and strolled up to the assassin and asked for help. What the fuck? We simply kill another son while he sleeps in a tavern. Inside Lewin, our next target is her last daughter, but she is also the captain of the guard, so I went to some extremes to not get spotted. While on the rooftops, our target approaches and with a single arrow we kill the last of the Draconis family. Once we arrive at the next day drop, we are tasked with killing a Khajiit in Bruma, who is said to be a very skilled fighter. During the night, we are able to lockpick our way inside his house and start searching for him. Soon, we do find his training room. While he is resting, we manage to slip an arrow between the doorway and take him out. But as we search his house, we find a book on the Dark Brotherhood and its history. And after some more searching, we do find some black robes upstairs. But this target was probably hunting for us, so that's why we were tasked with killing him. Yet again, we collect our reward and get our next target, an Argonian. Whoa! Our next target, we simply walk up and stab. As I've said before, sometimes you just need to keep these kills simple. Yet another target of ours is a Nord living on top of a mountain. These last kills all seem a bit meaningless, but we do trust Lucian and carry on. As we search this target, we find more dark robes, which could just be a coincidence, but I'm getting more and more suspicious of these kills.
I wish you'd teach me how to do that. Bye.
Our next target is Imbreville and regularly prays to the statue according to Lucian, so he will be an easy shot. So we're able to sneak around and get into a good spot to fire from.
No! No! I'm too late. I thought I could get here in time. Thought I could stop you! By Sithis, what have you done? What madness has claimed you? You have betrayed me. You have betrayed the Dark Brotherhood. Why?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
As Lucian accuses us of treachery, he tells us that our first and second day drops were successful, but after that, our day drops went unanswered and our targets were not being killed. But he soon realizes that someone has changed the day drops and made us kill the wrong people.
Jagasta, Shaliz, Uvalovani, Havelstein, Horblood, speakers and silencers all, and Ungolum, the listener himself. The surviving members of the Black Hand know you're innocent. They know you are only following orders. They believe I am the traitor.
Looks like Ochiva was correct earlier. There was a traitor in the Dark Brotherhood, but they weren't in the sanctuary we purified. So Lucian is being hunted by the Black Hand, and with only me to trust, we promise to find the traitor. So while we plan to wait at the next day drop, he will return to the farm where we killed the old woman. So we get into position close to the day drop, and it doesn't take us long before we find out who has been changing them.
I'm sorry! I didn't mean to do anything wrong! It was the robed man! He paid me to put those things in the barrel!
He soon tells us that the man who paid him lives in the old lighthouse outside Anvil, so we rush over to find out who it is. Inside, we soon find dead animals and multiple dead victims, but strangest of all, we find a shrine to a decapitated head.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
As we read through the journal of the killer, we see that Lucian LeChance killed this person's mother on his father's own orders. We also read that it was this person who has been switching the day drops, so we have proof of Lucian's innocence. But this person also plans on killing the Night Mother as well. So with all this knowledge, we rush back to the farm to show Lucian. With the help of Shadowmere, we soon arrive outside the farm.
Silencer, at last you've arrived.
Fear not, for the crisis that has threatened the Dark Brotherhood has finally come to an end. I am Arquin, speaker for the Black Hand. As you can see, we have dealt with the betrayer, Lucien LeChance.
Look how they massacred my boy.
You stupid fucking bastards. Do you really think Lucien would be a traitor after everything he has done for the Brotherhood? But instead of revealing his innocence, we wait as we're the only members of the Brotherhood still alive, which means the traitor has to be in the room with us. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Speaker in the Dark Brotherhood.
When we confronted LeChance, he tried to defend himself, tried to declare his innocence. But we would not hear his treacherous lies.
Shut the fuck up!
I then speak to the other speakers and a chance to maybe see if they give anything away, and honestly, everyone in this room is a psycho killer, so all they talk about is how fun it was to kill him.
You should take some time to admire his corpse. It really is a thing of beauty. The punctures and slashes are almost poetic.
With Lucien gone, however, we are on our own to find the traitor. Yeah, I can't lie, these fucking robes are sexy as fuck. Dark Brotherhood really does have the best armor. But us 5 speakers all plan to meet and then summon the Night Mother as we are in a crisis right now.
I wish she'd teach me how to do that.
Bye.
We soon arrive in Breville.
Unholy matron, we of the Black Hand beseech you. Reveal yourself now, most magnificent Night Mother, so that we may seek your guidance.
As we speak with the Night Mother, Arquin tells her that we have killed the traitor, but the Night Mother says otherwise.
Foolish little girl. Lucien LeChance served Sithis till his dying breath. The Black Hand remains tainted by betrayal. Restoration is impossible.
Enough. Enough of this. You will all suffer for the pain you have caused me.
So Matthew Bellamont is the traitor, and he quickly kills the other 2 speakers, but foolishly he tries to kill the Night Mother. Now we take this chance to kill him and avenge Lucien LeChance. After this, the Night Mother says she has been watching us and is impressed by the fact we managed to kill 90% of the Dark Brotherhood on our own. She also says she knew who the traitor was, but because no one figured it out, she let him kill them. It's here where she names us the new listener of the Dark Brotherhood. Here we get a trophy for finishing the Dark Brotherhood questline. She then tells us that we must return to the Sanctuary in Chedenhall, and from there we will rebuild the Dark Brotherhood. Once back there, Arquin says she will do most of the work, but she just needs us to find who the targets are from the Night Mother. She will take care of the rest. After that, I decided to go and steal Mehrunes Dagon's razor, as I will take any chance to piss him off, so that's 2-0 to us, Dagon. Unlucky, son.
I'll kill you.
While back in the Imperial City, we soon find a poster of a man called the Grey Fox, who's the leader of the Thieves Guild. So I ask a nearby beggar, and she tells us where we can find the guild. Here we find and speak with Armand, and he tells us that we're able to join the guild if we can complete a task for him. As you can see, there's 2 other members we are competing against for the spot. As you can expect, we have to break in somewhere and steal something. We then quickly ask a beggar where we can find our target, and she tells us. So we break into the house, and once inside we steal the diary, and luckily we just beat the other thief by about 3 seconds.
I would give myself an A+.
We then hand the diary to Armand and he lets us join the guild. Here we get a trophy for joining the Thieves Guild. So unlike the other guilds, you actually have to do things on your own, and occasionally we'll get special jobs if we prove ourselves good enough. So to get these special jobs, we need to steal something valuable. And well, I know just the place. So the Countess of Bruma likes to brag about her Akaviri collection, and well, I decided to steal it all, as I need those special jobs. We return to Armand. He says we need to break in and steal the list of everyone who got taxed in the waterfront, as the Grey Fox actually protects these people, especially the beggars. So we simply wait for the change of the guard, and then we can sneak in undetected. Once in the room, we're able to break in and steal the list we need. we return the list to our man, and this leads to us getting promoted. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of footpad in the Thieves Guild. Our next job is to steal a bust of the dead Countess of Cheadenhall. As we arrive, we always speak to the beggars, as the Grey Fox protects them, and in return they offer information in exchange. He tells us where to find the bust, so we sneak inside to the tombs where she is buried, and once there, we simply grab the bust. Once we arrive back at the waterfront, we see guards are everywhere. Here we speak with another member, and she says that our man used us to find out who the informant was in the guild, and there was never a job to steal the bust. So we have to frame the informant for the theft. Once again, we wait until it's dark, then we simply break into the house and place the bust. After this, we tell the watch leader, Lex, that we know who took the bust, and as expected, he soon finds it and arrests her. Our man then thanks us and apologises for using us to root out the informant. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of bandit in the Thieves Guild. So because we have reached a certain rank, we no longer answer to command. So we head to Breville to meet our new boss.
She teach me how to do that.
Bye.
Here we meet with our new boss, and what a surprise, it's a cat that steals things. But we need to help a friend of the guild get her ring back. Once in Leywin, like always, we speak with the beggars for information.
One more coin and I can get a pair of shoes.
Well, my friend, today is your lucky day, as I always pay well for information. He tells us the person who took the ring is currently locked up, so we bribe the guard to enter the jail. Here we meet Amu Se, who stole the ring, but it turns out the ring originally belonged to the Countess of Leywin, so it's her we need to steal it back from. Here we start to infiltrate the castle, and by paying the right people, we find out about the hidden tunnels inside the castle. Oh yeah, and the Countess also has a thing for interrogating Argonians, so she likes to come down here and watch. After exiting the secret tunnel, we soon see our target. As she sleeps, we sneak over and steal the ring back. Here, we return the ring to the friend of the guild and complete the job.
What can I say except you're welcome?
As we return, we get our reward. We need to return and help the guild out. Here, we get a trophy for reaching the rank of cat burglar in the Thieves Guild. Our next job is to find and steal a book, especially for the Grey Fox. But another guild member had the book, but then got captured in Skingrad. So we have to find him and return the book. Once we arrive, we pay the beggar for some information and find out our fellow guild member is in the cells. After bribing yet another guard, we manage to enter the cells and talk to a prisoner, and he tells us our friend was dragged away by someone called the Pale Lady. Yet again, we find another hidden tunnel and follow it. At the end of this tunnel, we find and kill the Pale Lady before she alerts anyone else. And it's here where we find our favourite lizard, Amu Se. He has been captured yet again, but he says that the Pale Lady was a vampire and was going to kill him.
You have saved my life again. You are a true friend. I will not forget this. I've decided to join the Thieves Guild. No more jails for me.
But we do see our guild member has been killed, but Amu Se knows where he stashed the book. So we both start to sneak our way out of Castle Skingrad together. Once outside, he thanks us yet again and tells us where the book can be found. Honestly, can I just say, without this armor, the skeleton key, and the invisible ring, this quest would have been so much harder, but we find and take the book.
She teach me how to do that.
Bye.
As always, we return and get our reward. Our next job is to finally get rid of Hieronymus Lex, and we will do this by getting him transferred to Anvil by forging a letter and making him the best candidate for the job. With the help of one of our contacts, we yet again are able to use secret tunnels inside the castle to move unseen, but we soon find the letter we need and steal it. In Anvil, we track down a man who could forge the letter for us, and he seems to know a lot about the guild, and especially the Grey Fox.
I've heard it all. They say he's immortal because he's led the Thieves Guild for over 300 years. No one ever sees his face. Because he always wears that gray cowl. Oh, and speaking of the gray cowl, did you know he stole it from Nocturnal herself? You'd think he was Saint Nerevar, the way they talk about him.
Do not understand.
I do. I understood that reference.
Yeah, everyone who played Morrowind loved that wee Nerevar reference. But he does forge the letter for us. We then deliver the letter to the Countess of Anvil, and because of the letter, she picked Hieronymus Lex to be her new bodyguard. Here, we break the news to Lex that he has been reassigned, and he knows the Grey Fox had something to do with it, but still accepts his new role. We return yet again and receive both our reward and the promotion. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Shadowfoot in the Thieves Guild. We are now at a rank where we receive our orders straight from the Grey Fox himself, though another member tells us where to meet with him. Here we finally meet with the Prince of Thieves, the Grey Fox, and there's a certain familiarity about him.
I have need of your special gifts. There is an item hidden away in a remote monastery. I need you to go get it for me.
So yeah, we're stealing from the Moth Priests, and these guys are the ones who read the Elder Scrolls. We then arrive outside the monastery. After speaking with one of the priests, he gives us no information about the item. So we break in and begin to look for it ourselves. Yes, they actually are all blind, so sneaking past these guys is simply too easy.
I'm legally blind, I can see, barely.
But eventually we do see the item we need to steal. So we sneak up and grab Sevilla's stone and then sneak to the exit undetected. We give him the stone and he says he will be in touch once he is ready. Here we speak with an old friend and he is now delivering messages for the Grey Fox. So he tells us where to meet with him again.
Capital! Bring me the Arrow of Extrication. It has a key-shaped head. Braville's court wizard, Fathis Aren, recently acquired this unique item.
She'd teach me how to do that.
Bye.
Once again, for the 100th time, we're sneaking into another castle. Inside the wizard's room, we find another hidden passage. Inside this tunnel, we see Dremora patrolling for him, but like the master thief I am, we sneak past all the guards he has stationed here. Seriously, this Morag Tong armor is too good for a stealth build. We soon find and kill the wizard who has the arrow, but now we're stuck here with about 10 of his summons ready to rip us apart.
One eternity later.
But finally, after dozens and dozens of arrows fired, we kill the last one. Here we find the arrow in a chest. He thanks us again as the arrow helps with a certain plan he has, but he decides to promote us. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Master Thief in the Thieves Guild.
I need the boots of Springheel Jack. He is a famous thief that died some 300 years ago. Legend has it that he was buried with his boots on.
So we break into the house where Springhill Jack used to live. Once inside, we threaten the owner of the house now, and he tells us that the tombs are under the house. Here we find his tomb, but not the boots. But as we read his diary, it says that Springhill Jack knows the Grey Fox as they used to work together. But the owner we threaten then appears, fully armed, and we begin to fight, but we soon kill him. It's here we find out that he was actually Springhill Jack. So we ask the Grey Fox, did he know Old Jack? But he tells us that there has been several Grey Foxes over the years, and the mask gets passed down to each new leader of the guild. He plans to call on us for one last task.
This is the big one. This is the heist that will be written about and talked about for decades to come. We are going to steal one of the Elder Scrolls from the Imperial Palace.
Let's not get episodic, okay? Old-timer? Beginning, middle, end. Facts, details, condense, plot, tell it.
He says to do this, we need to sneak in and activate the Glass of Time. Next, he says the boots of Springhill Jack will allow us to jump and fall from greater heights, helping with our entrance and escape. Next, we will use the arrow we stole to open a secret passage inside the palace. Once inside, we will pretend to be someone else who is there to read the Elder Scroll, so we just need to keep our mouths shut and they won't be able to tell that it's us. So with us understanding the plan, it's time to begin. Once inside, we manage to sneak past a few guards, and here we activate the glass of time. After this, we sneak into the sewers. This brings us underneath the palace. So we just keep moving into another tunnel, and here we see tons of undead. So I slowly sneak past them, as we aren't here for a fight. This allows us to enter a ruin below the palace. Once down here, we kill the few undead who are still around. It's here where we trigger the statue to open the keyhole for us. This leads us into the palace itself. We start to slowly sneak past the guards and to where they keep the scrolls. Once inside, we simply sit down and wait for them to bring us the scroll we need. And yeah, good luck to anyone who tries to read this thing. On our way out, we come very, very close to being discovered by this guard who has fucking eyes like a hawk, seriously. But unfortunately, the Moth Priest doesn't, so we stroll right past him with ease. Here we make our escape. Did I say escape? No, I meant falling down and nearly breaking both my legs. After that, we simply stroll back out. Here we give the Grey Fox the scroll, and he tells us that he knows how to read it. But he has a strange request for us next.
Give this ring to Countess Umbranox in Anvil. Say nothing about me to her. I need to know how she reacts to it. It may provoke anger or tears.
As we give her the ring, she tells us that it belonged to her husband who has been missing for 10 years.
By the power of the Elder Scrolls, I name Emmer Deriloth as the true thief of Nocturnal's cow. I am also your missing husband, Corvus.
Corvus? Is it really you?
Alright, for real, I'm dropping it. Hi.
So he says once you wear the Grey Cowl, you have your name struck from history and no one knows who you are. And yes, this is the same man who forged the letter for us earlier. But it's here where he gives up his life of crime and gives us the Grey Cowl. But he has broken the curse, allowing us to use it freely and also naming us Guildmaster of the Thieves Guild. Here we get a trophy for finishing the Thieves Guild questline. So next up, you're probably expecting me to go and beat the Mage's questline, and you would be dead wrong, as I received word of a strange door opening up outside Breville, and I wanted to check it out.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Yes, we have changed outfit, and yes, it's Martin's from the Battle of Bruma, because I still can't get over his death.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
We soon see this strange door for ourselves. As we can see up close, anyone who enters it is driven mad, and it's soon revealed why.
Unworthy, unworthy, unworthy! Useless mortal meat, walking bag of dung! Bring me a champion! Rend the flesh of my foes! A mortal champion to wade through the entrails of my enemies.
Obviously, we had to enter the portal. I mean, come on.
I am Haskell, Chamberlain to the Lord Sheogorath.
Here he tells us that Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness, needs a mortal champion to help him out with something, and the door behind us leads to his own realm of oblivion, the Shivering Isles. Here we get a trophy for entering the Shivering Isles. Sheogorath might be mad as a box of frogs, but wow, this place looks amazing. After wandering around, we soon find a town full of people, and why the fuck would you want to live in a realm of oblivion? We soon follow these people here as they say the gatekeeper is about to destroy some adventurers. Yeah, this thing just throws them around for fun until eventually all of them are killed. So to kill this gatekeeper, we're going to need help. So we recruit this fella to help us out. So with some specially crafted arrows from a dead keeper, we get to work. Sorry, I should have said he gets to work while we stand there and tank the hits and get knocked on our ass for the next 5 minutes.
One eternity later.
Soon the gatekeeper dies, but we actually find 2 keys on its corpse. Haskell tells us that there are 2 doors into Sheogorath's realm, the door of dementia or the Door of Mania. So I choose the Door of Mania, and yeah, I think I made a pretty good choice here. Finally, we arrive outside the city. Once inside, we see that yes, the people who live here are just as fucked in the head as old Sheogorath himself. We make our way to his palace and introduce ourselves to the Mad Prince.
New arrival! Shame about my gatekeeper. I'm so happy I could just tear out your intestines and strangle you with them. I'm Sheogorath, Prince of Madness, and other things. I'm not talking about them.
Everything out of his mouth is honestly pure gold. But he says he was waiting for us as he needed a strong mortal champion to help him out.
The Grey March is coming, and you're going to stop it.
Our first task is to head to Cedillion and get it working again, whatever that means. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of aspirant in the Court of Madness. Once inside, we start the hunt for 3 staffs. As you can see, the staffs are being used by these overgrown turtle-looking things, so we have to kill them. After this, we then return the staffs to where they belong. We do this 3 more times, and this allows us to turn on the resonator again. As we go to leave though, we encounter the Keeper of Cedillion, and he tells us why we are really here.
Cedillion is the ultimate test of mettle for the foolhardy adventurer that dares trespass into the Shivering Isles. What they don't know is that they're being drawn to their doom, courtesy of the Resonator of Judgment.
So it's our job to torture the adventurers who enter physically or mentally, but we soon see our 3 victims arrive, and I choose to spawn in a ton of gnarls to attack them.
Prepare yourselves for battle.
This leads to one of the members of the group being killed. Next up, I change tactics and plan to spawn in keys to drive them crazy.
Look, keys. One of them must open the gate.
Find it. Yes, I must find the key. Rich beyond all my dreams.
For our last victim, I decided to raise the dead.
What? The very dead rise in this accursed place. Very well. You'll not slay me without a fight.
But soon, our last victim dies. So, we then get told to report back, but as we are leaving, we're attacked by these strange knights.
Surprise, motherfucker!
And finally, our friend here decides to help us out, and after that, we cut them down one at a time. He tells us they are called the Knights of Order, and we must tell Sheogorath immediately that they have arrived. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of citizen in the Court of Madness. So we tell Sheogorath what's happened, and honestly, he couldn't give any less of a fuck.
Wonderful! Time for a celebration! Cheese for everyone!
Oh, and he also allows us to summon Haskell, which Haskell is buzzing about.
Our Lord has granted you the power to summon me. How wonderful for me.
I'm gonna kill myself!
But he soon tells us what we're up against.
Another Daedric prince. Not a nice one. I don't think any of the other princes like him, actually. I mean, Malakath is more popular at parties. And Malakath is not popular at parties.
Oi, don't say that. That's not true. That's not true.
The Grey March comes and Jiggalag walks. Or runs. Never skips, sidles, or struts. Mostly he just destroys everything around him.
He orders us to get to know both the Duke of Mania and the Duchess of Dementia, as we will need to understand this place if we are to help him. Here we speak with Thaden, the Duke of Mania, and he is addicted to green moat.
I love it. I'm addicted to it. I don't know anything else.
So he needs us to grab a chalice to cure himself. It looks like we're climbing inside a tree. Once inside, we quickly kill a few of these massive bugs, and then we finally find the chalice. Once back at the palace, we return the chalice to him. Next, we meet Syl, the Duchess of Dementia, and she tells us that there is a traitor in her court, so we are tasked with finding them. We do this with the help of Herdir. And if you're curious what he does, I'll show you. So after shocking half the Shivering Isles, this woman tells us of a Khajiit who is part of the group of traitors. We follow the traitor until we see they are having a meeting here. This is where we see the Khajiit, but also one of the Duchess's guards, talking about killing Syl. So we rush over and question the cat, and he swears to have the name of their leader soon. Next we question the guard, and she tells us who the traitor is. We tell Syl who the traitor is, and we get front row tickets to see what happens next. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of Madman in the Court of Madness. So as we return to the Mad Prince, he's pretty happy with us so far.
You'll be my champion. You'll grow powerful. You'll grow to be me, Prince of Madness, Anu Sheogorath.
He then tells us that he is never here when Jiglag is here, which I mean, why the fuck not, mate? Why don't you stop him? It's literally your realm. But now we have to head to another ruin and grab a sacred flame used to relight the fires in a temple nearby. When we arrive, we speak with the saints who serve the Duke of Mania. As we talk with their leader, she says that we must kill all of the seducers who serve the Duchess of Dementia in this ruin, and then we can relight the fire. So I lead the charge as the saints rush in behind me, and we start to cut down every single seducer we get our hands on. But eventually our sheer numbers and the fact we're here, we are soon able to overpower and kill every last one of them. So to relight the fire, we need the saints' help. We just sit here and aura farm for a bit in the fire, but this allows us to bring it back to the temple. Once back at the temple, we relight the fires. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Honoured Madman in the Court of Madness. Now he drops a bombshell and tells us we need to replace the Duke or Duchess. So I choose to become the new Duke of Mania. This requires us to make Thaden overdose on that green mote he loves so much, but he can't know about it. So we need to steal some and place it in his food. This is when we follow one of his servants to see where she gets the green mote from. Once inside, we grab as much as we physically can. After making it past more guards, we're able to place it in his food and in his wine. I think it would be a really good idea to surprise Thaden by joining him for dinner.
My heart can't breathe. Help me.
In the temple, we pour his blood out onto the altar. So Sheogorath is absolutely over the moon with us, as we seem to easily be his favourite. But before he can say any more, Syl bursts into the temple.
Thaden? Dead? You've done this. It was you all along.
Hold your tongue, little Duchess, or I'll tear it from your mouth.
So it's safe to say she's pretty fucking pissed right now.
This is not over, Mad God. I give myself to Jiggalag. As a priest of order, I'll be safe. Your empire will crumble before the armies of order.
Next, we get tasked with defending the outskirts of the Shivering Isles. Here we get a trophy for becoming the Duke of Mania, another trophy for becoming the Duke of Dementia. As we arrive back to where it started, we can see the crystals or Jiggalag's work, so his knights are nearby. As we speak with the leader of the Saints, she asks us to lead them as the Knights of the Order are about to attack. So I decide we need more archers at the back while me and the other Saints hold the front line and let the archers do most of the work. I mean, archer superiority always works, just ask the French what happened to Agincourt. As the knights charge in, me and the Saints hold the front line while the archers in the back pepper them with arrow fire. So we are then told to stop this invasion at its source. We need to destroy a massive crystal in a nearby ruin. With this bow, I start clearing corners out like a fucking SAS member. As usual, we are outnumbered. Those arena fights early on are still holding up for us as we know how to deal with multiple enemies. Deeper inside the ruins, we meet Sheldon, one of the people who lives here, and he tells us he will help us to clear the ruins of the Knights of the Order.
2 seconds later.
Sorry, did I say help? No, all Sheldon does is get his fucking shit kicked in, but it at least distracts the Knights long enough for us to close the portal. This triggers the ruins to start collapsing and crushing everyone inside, leaving Sheldon trapped inside to be killed.
Oh no! Anyway, last week...
Next up on our agenda is to create another gatekeeper, as we kind of killed the last one. So we need the help of a Dunmer woman. As we meet with this woman, she is pissed off that we killed the last gatekeeper, but she still allows us to create this one. And yeah, she very worryingly has a lot of spare parts for us to choose from. After picking all the parts we want, we follow her to the gates and perform the ritual.
I summon thee, walker in flesh, flesh of true flesh, from those waters of oblivion which sire thy kind. I bind thee, Atronach, to this body, henceforth gatekeeper of the Shivering Isles.
Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Regent in the Court of Madness. Soon, one of the seducers charges in and tells us that they are under attack and need help once again. He tells us that a very special place is under attack, and if we lose that area, all the seducers will be killed. Once we arrive, one of the captains tells us that Syl has imprisoned the leader of the seducers, so we need to work together to get her back.
Given the need for swift action, the normal customs shall need to be overlooked for now. We shall be right behind you, Your Grace.
Yet again we charge in, but this time it's with the seducer's help. We begin to cut down every order member we find. We soon meet with the leader of the seducers, and after ringing a chime, we're able to free her. She tells us that we need to stop order forces from blocking a wellspring, otherwise the seducers will all be killed.
I will follow your lead. The wellspring is at the heart of Pinnacle Rock. Follow the waters to reach it. I am yours to command, Your Grace.
We now have not one but two bodies following us, so I'm pretty happy right now. Oh, for fuck's sake, never mind. But after killing a few order members, we bring the chimes again, and this unblocks the well, saving all the seducers. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Defender in the Court of Madness. As we report back to Sheogorath, he is acting a lot stranger than usual, and it's soon revealed why.
Sheogorath is dead! All shall crumble before Jiggler!
Yeah, Sheogorath is Jiggalag in case you didn't figure it out. But Haskell says if we take up the Seat of Madness, we can stop the Grey March from happening. But we need to remake the staff of Sheogorath, otherwise we won't be able to become the Mad God. Deep inside an ancient ruin, we meet someone who can help us. So this little nerd knows everything that's going on, but he does tell us of the two things we need to remake the staff. So we set off to find them both. Deep underground we need the branches from a special tree, but we soon encounter an enemy to stop us. Yeah, I'm fighting myself, that's pretty weird. Finally, after a long time, we were able to kill ourselves. But you know what I mean. So we then grab the branches. Next up, we hunt down and kill the leader of a cult and steal her eye. I don't know why it's needed, but we were asked to take it, so we did. We then return to this freak and give him the required components, and here we see him create the staff for us. Of course, we aren't done yet because that would be way too fucking easy, so we need to unblock the Fount of Madness because we just have to. Okay, none of this is making sense to me. Haskell asked us to do it, so I'm just doing it. So we head underground yet again and kill more Knights of Order, but then we come face to face with Syl and absolutely beat the shit out of her with one hand. We then use the font and actually become the Mad God now. But our saints rush inside and tell us that the Grey March is here.
I expect that this is the beginning of the final assault. The cursed usurper Jiggalag himself may even take the field before the end.
As we lead our troops outside, we have to stop the ordered crystals. While we cut down the knights, we take their hearts and place them inside the crystals, closing them. After doing this 3 times to each crystal, we finally stop them.
You all despair, but you are no Daedric prince.
And honestly, as much as this entire thing has been built up, we absolutely crush him within 30 seconds of the fight starting. Here, we get a trophy for stopping the Grey March.
Enough! I am beaten. The Grey March is ended. The other princes, fearful of my power,
cursed me with madness, doomed me to live as Sheogorath, a broken soul reigning in a broken land. I will take my leave, and you will remain here, mortal. Mortal, king, god. It seems uncertain. Fare thee well, Sheogorath, Prince of Madness.
So as we return to the palace, we then become Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness, and we even have the clues to go with the title. Next up, we have the Mages Guild questline, and as you can see, I've acquired some new drip. My entire armour is set up to deflect spells and resist magic. This is why I have the Daedric Artifact Spellbreaker, as this shield also absorbs spells, so we're just a mage's worst nightmare. Just like the Fighters Guild, there are many mage guilds spread throughout Cyrodiil, but the main one is the Arcane University in the Imperial City. But we asked Jean here, can we join? And she accepts. We get a trophy for joining the Mages Guild. So to get to the Arcane University, we need a recommendation from every Mage Guild headquarters, and after solving an easy problem, we leave with Jean's recommendation. Next we arrive in Cheydinhal and ask Falkir for his recommendation, but he says we need to grab him a ring first. As we climb down the well, we get the ring, but we find a dead member of the guild. As we return, we speak with another member, and she says that Falkir must be getting people to get that ring because it weighs them down and then they drown, so he intended to kill us.
That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
But Falkir has escaped, so she writes the recommendation for us. After getting all the recommendations we need, we speak with Raminus, and he allows us to join the Arcane University. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of apprentice in the Mages Guild. He then tells us we need to create a staff, and I'll never use it, but we kinda have to do it. We leave for a nearby cave full of our fellow mages who will help us. As we arrive in the cave, however, we find our other members are all dead.
Another plaything? You'll dance for me, little one. Yes, you will.
No, I don't think I will.
As you can expect, we easily fuck this necromancer up with no trouble at all. We grab what we need for the staff and return. Here we tell Raminus about the necromancers and how our other members were all killed, so he sends us to get our staff made while he thinks on what to do next. Sadly for this man, he makes the staff just for me to never use it. For our next task, we need to meet the Count of Skingrad, who we have met several times before, but he has a book the guild needs, so we're sent to meet with him. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of journeyman in the Mages Guild. Once we arrive, we always have to ask a servant to go get the Count for us, as if you couldn't tell, he is a vampire. We speak to a new servant and he tells us the Count won't be seeing us.
2 seconds later.
So this new guy then tells us that the Count will meet us at night time outside the castle walls, so we agree. As we made it to the agreed spot, I realise that those hooded figures slowly walking towards us are 100% here to kill us. So this dickhead is working with the necromancers, so they want to turn us into a walking corpse. But as we're fighting, the Count of Skingrad rushes in with the steel chair and begins throwing haymakers at the necromancers and the undead, so we work together and take them out. Here he tells us that we were actually sent to spy on him because as a vampire he could easily join the necromancers. He does tell us he will look into this necromancer cult for us. As we report what happened to Raminus, he apologises for us getting attacked, but we're 98% spell resistant, mate, so honestly don't worry about it. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of Evoker in the Mages Guild. Another trophy for reaching the rank of Conjurer in the Mages Guild. Here we speak with another member of the guild about Black Soul Gems, as the cult is interested in them. So after reading a book and talking to another member, she says the cult make Black Soul Gems nearby, so we leave to investigate. Once there, we see the altar and this is definitely the right place. So I then head inside, and when I say I killed easily 30 members inside here, I'm not joking. But As we loot the bodies, we find a letter on one of them telling us how they make the black soul gems. Yet again, we report what we have learnt and get another promotion. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Magician in the Mages Guild. Now we get our quest from Archmage Traven. He asks us to check out a nearby ruin as one of our members infiltrated the cult, but he fears the worst. He also tells us that he sent some battle mages to assist us. As we make it to the ruins, only one battle mage has survived so far, so we decide to follow his lead.
Follow me!
I also laughed at this for way too long. We then speak with another cultist and she tells us the member we are looking for has been killed and she plans on making us join him. Now you can finally see why the deflect spell enchantment is so powerful against these idiots. But as we find our fellow guildmate turned into a zombie, we must put him out of his misery. We then tell Traven what happened and once again he sits back and does fuck all. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Warlock in the Mages Guild. So we are now being sent back to speak with a Count of Skingrad as he has learned some vital information for us. As we talk with our nocturnal little friend, he tells us our guild doesn't realise the danger we are in.
Manimarco has returned. Nearly invincible, he has established himself somewhere in the north of Cyrodiil. This is all that I know.
For anyone who played Elder Scrolls Online, you know why this is fucking terrifying. So this time, I don't report to Traven, I tell him to do something, otherwise I'll slap him around this room as he has done fuck all to stop this threat so far. But he decides to send us back to Bruma and contact the Mages Guild there, as he hasn't heard from them in some time and he thinks something might have happened. Once we enter the Mages Guild, we see everything is ruined and wraiths are everywhere, so we start to kill any and all wraiths we can find. But with most of the members dead, we look for some survivors. We then talk with a fellow guildmate who stayed invisible to stay alive, and he tells us what he has seen.
I saw his face. I saw the King of Worms. The King of Worms stood over him right before he died, and he... well, it looked like he sucked out Volanaro's soul.
Yeah, Manimarco, you're not beating the gay allegations right now.
From what he's told you, Manimarco, the King of Worms, is here in Cyrodiil and preying on our guild. This is something I'd never have dreamed.
Traven, stop being a fucking pussy and do something or I will. Here we get a trophy for reaching the rank of Wizard in the Mages Guild. Next on our list, we have to find 2 artifacts so Manimarco can't use them to become even stronger. So in the depths of a ruined castle, we find the Bloodworm Helm on a dead Mage Guild member. And next we enter a fort and find some Mage Guild members inside, so we just need to ask for the amulet and leave.
Oh, my dear, I'm afraid you're in over your head. I don't answer to Traven. I heed only the word of Manimarco.
As you can see, she's terrified to use spells as it ends up hurting her, so she decides to throw punches while I sit back and laugh. But eventually, the Deflect spell comes in handy yet again and we can grab the amulet. We quickly give Traven these items. We get a trophy for reaching the rank of Master Wizard in the Mages Guild. So next he needs us to assist some battle mages as they have found out where the cultists are keeping a massive black soul gem, and with it Manimarco will become nearly invincible. Once we arrive, I order the battle mages to only attack when I do, so they will back me up when I launch the assault. But as we are waiting, I'd recognise that fucking twat from anywhere as Falkir comes marching out. So I fire an arrow and hit him, but he manages to flee inside. As we chase him down, I find myself fighting off dozens of cultists at once, but it's no problem when you're immune to most of their attacks. But soon Falkir has nowhere to run and we get our revenge on him. With a few well placed strikes, he dies and we take the gem. As we return to Traven, he tells us the plan to kill the King of Worms.
Manny Marco will have what he seeks, but it will be his undoing at your hands. With this gem in your possession, you will be impervious to his attempts to enthrall you. When he fails, that is when you shall strike. Lead your fellow mages and lead them well. The future rests on your shoulders. Farewell, my friend.
For the first time, Traven does something. He places his own soul in the gem, so Manny Marco's power will be useless against us, and we will have the chance to kill him. So, Traven, I apologise for what I said earlier. Once we find the cave where he is staying, we speak with one of his cultists.
A few moments later.
As we can see, the King of Worms has been busy resurrecting the dead of Tamriel as we are fighting against every undead abomination in one place right now. But after defeating them, I take out the mace of Molag Bal, as Manny Marco is slightly terrified of him. So I plan to send him back to Cold Harbour to meet him. So we speak with him and fuck me, has he been at Skooma? Talk about a downgrade. In Elder Scrolls Online he had the world terrified, and here he looks like an absolute crack addict.
I will make you another in a long tradition of worm thralls, and take my time in studying you. Your very soul will be forfeit to me.
As he tries to use his magic on us, it doesn't work, so thanks Traven for that assist. But we just batter him with a mace again and again, and any time he hits me with a spell, he hurts himself a lot more than he hurts me. But with one final blow, the King of Worms is defeated. We return to Ramanas and tell him the good news. He is glad to hear we are the new leader of the Mages Guild, even though I didn't cast a single spell. So once again, thank you, Todd Howard. We get a trophy for finishing the Mages Guild questline. Here we unlock the Platinum for Oblivion Remastered. So with our job finished, I head back to the Shivering Isles to take up my place as the Prince of Madness. So everyone, that was the Platinum Trophy for Oblivion Remastered, and honestly, what a fucking game. I'm so glad more people are getting to experience it because of the remaster. From the main story to the characters and both the DLCs, this game just has quality written all over it. Also, if you made it this far into the video, a massive thank you, as I know it is a very, very long video, but I really want to cover these games properly and do them the justice they deserve. The next game, as you can probably guess, will be Skyrim, and yeah, it's going to be probably even longer than this video, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe and keep an eye out for that video. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, guys, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Bye.